So I've had a lot of questions on this, but how the heck do you do pigs? And are they worth all the trouble? I'm going to run some tests here and show you how I think is the best way to do pigs. And there you go. So you can make some money on your farm with pigs. And it might be a little misleading what you've been doing. So we'll be right back with some results. Let me just show you where you get your pig pens from. If you go up here to construction, okay, you go down here to animals, and then you go over at the top till you get to pigs, of course. And these are a little different. This one I had trouble with the Slurry, the $44,000 one. The best ones are this one, holds 109 pigs, or this one. The one I'm going to test is this one that has 275 pigs. You get most bang for your buck because it's almost 3 times that, and it's not even twice the money. So for $164,000, you can get this puppy. And you just put it somewhere. Be sure you can get to where the slurry is and also where the feed is. And there you go. We have one here. Now, once you do that, I'm going to kind of stand by this, but you want to take advantage of both the pigs growing and also reproduction. And the way you do that is you look at my pig pen here. Okay, it'll hold 280 pigs. Okay, if you had the smaller one, it's a little different. So what I'm going to do is take that number and divide it by 4. Okay, so that is 70. And I'm going to put 70 baby pigs in here. Okay, and I've already done that. And what you do is just go up here. And it doesn't matter if it's which type, they're all the same. Okay, but I'm going to do the 0-month-old, the very, very small ones for $200 a piece. And 70 of that, it's only cost me like 16,000 bucks. Okay, $16,100. Now you can get it for 14 flat if you pay the delivery, if you deliver them. I'm just paying the fee here because I don't have a vehicle. But if you want to do that, that's fine. Okay, if you want to get a vehicle and haul them, you could save a little bit of money there. So for 16,100, I got 70 little pigs in here. Now, when you go to feed them, okay, if you look at the menu here, it shows a base food, grain, protein, and root crops. Now, I'm going to tell you a little trick that it's not intuitive in here and doesn't tell you. Okay, you want these numbers, that percentages, to add up to at least 45%. Okay, what does that mean? Well, you could feed them just base food because that's already 50%. Well, what's base food? That's either corn or sorghum. Corn or sorghum. Okay. And the next one down is 25%. That's grain. That's either wheat or barley. Wheat or barley. And then for protein, you can either use canola, sunflowers, or soybeans. Okay. And you really don't have to worry about root crops. If you have them handy, you want to put a little in there, it's only 5%. You can. That's either potatoes or sugar beets. But as an example, if you're doing a protein there in root crops, that's only 25%. Okay. A grain and root crops, that's only 30%. So root crops by themselves, well, even with just one other thing, is not going to really help unless it's a base food. I ran some tests on this, and the percentage there from 50 to 25 to 20, as long as you get 45%, except for the first month, it doesn't really affect the growth. Okay, they're going to be worth the same amount of money. The only thing it affects is your slurry and manure you're going to get. So if you want to maximize your slurry, okay, you try to follow those percentages there, put a little bit of everything in there. What I'm going to do to save money is just put corn in here. Okay, you could use sorghum too. You really need either corn or sorghum. Okay, or you could have a grain and a protein, and that will work too. Okay, a grain and a protein. So you could put barley and you could put canola. By the way, the most efficient ones I found for the base food is going to be corn. Okay, they all have an opportunity cost, and corn is going to cost less in the long run. And I'll show you the results here on a spreadsheet in just a minute. Okay, another quick note, if you're starting out and you don't have corn or sorghum or anything to get started as far as feeding your pigs, and you want to get started, that's okay. You can buy food from the shop. Okay, if you go here under animals, under food, one of the things is pig food, and this isn't a bad price. Okay, this is not a bad price, $1,000 for 1,000 liters. Okay, not too bad. Now, uh, keep in mind though, do not buy pig food from the multi-fruit buying station. It's about 3.8 times more expensive than buying it here or using corn or sorghum or something else. It's a lot more expensive for whatever reason. Another point, for the first 6 months of their life, the pigs are eating less food. And I'll give you a spreadsheet of that in a second that shows you every month it gets more and more until they're full grown, until 6 months. And then it's 30 liters per pig, 30 liters per pig per day, okay, slash month. So also look up there in the top left, these are 8 months old. You can see I started with 85,000 liters of corn. I got 74 and change left. So it's consumed that amount of corn. I mean, I could sell these and make a profit too if I wanted. But what I'm going to do is get some reproduction out of this. Next month, after it says 8 months, on the ninth month, they're going to reproduce. Okay, and that becomes significant here in a minute. Okay, now we go to the next month and look, our pigs have reproduced. So at the ninth month, they've reproduced, and we have 70 zero age little piglets. Okay, 70 zero age little piglets. And what you want to do is I'm going to keep these until the next oldest one is 8 months old, because after that, well, once my pen is full, I'll show you in a minute. To show you real quick, we have big ones that are 9 months old and they just had babies. Look at those little ones. That's pretty cool. I love the way farming similar to 25 does this with the little ones. It's so awesome. Okay, check this out. 13 months after we started, we now have another litter of 70 pigs. Okay, I'm not selling any yet though. I'm going to show you when to do that. But we now have a total of 210 pigs. Okay, check it out. After 17 months, we have another litter of zero age pigs. That's because they have to be 6 months old to get pregnant. And then the gestation period is 4 months. So the first time is 10 months after. Okay, technically, because the first month was 0. That's why it said 9. Okay, we have another one here. So once they're going, every 4 months there, you look, every 4 months is another litter. All right, now look at this. This is 8 months. That means next month they're going to have a litter. Okay, so what I have to do whenever my next oldest pigs are 8 months old, I have to sell these. So I'm going to go over here to the pig pen, and I'm not using transport, but I'm going to sell 70 of these. I'm going to get $122,500. $122,500. Now, up until this point, I've used 43,538 liters of corn. Okay. And that would have cost me at the optimum time to sell it for the year. My opportunity cost, had I sold that instead, would have been about $61,000. Okay. So what that means is I netted about 61 grand in over and above profit by having pigs versus just selling the corn. Okay. And it's just going to get better because every 4 months I got a litter. Okay. Now, once again, if you look, my second oldest set of pigs there is 8 months old. That's the point that I want to sell my oldest ones. So we're going to do that. Okay, we got 70 at $1,300. That's $91,000, or with the delivery charge, $87,500 that I'm going to get. Boom, boom. You could have saved a little money there on delivery. So the reason I want to do that, sell them this month, is because those that are 8 months old are going to reproduce next month. And if I don't make room for them, they're not going to reproduce. And remember, the younger pigs use less corn than the older pigs. I want to take advantage of that first 6 months of not eating much, but the money increasing because it's more efficient that way. Okay, now that particular go round was 87,500 that we got, and we got 122,500 before. We have used to date 64,507 liters of corn, or about $91,000 worth. And what that means is we've made, if we were to take into the corn to the market, that's how we come up with that 91,000 at the optimum time of the year. Put it in a silo, sold it at the best time, it would have been worth 91 grand. However, we made 119,000 above that, $119,000 above the 91 we would have got from just the corn. So this is very profitable so far. Let's do another cycle. Okay, it is now June, 25 months after we started. Let's see what we got. Okay, I had to add some food in there. Okay, now look, this is 8 months, so that means we got to sell these again. Now, something to note, remember they reproduce every 4 months, but the reason you wait as long as you can, which means waiting until the next oldest ones are 8 months old before you sell, sometimes you get double duty reproduction. So we'll have a sale this month because he's 8, and next month, this guy will be a little less. So we'll see what that looks like. Okay, once again, we're getting $87,500. Let's go to next month. We've gone to next month, and before we did that, at the 25-month mark, I forgot to mention, we made another 87,500. To date, when you take out the opportunity cost for the corn, it was about $89,000 or 89,000 liters of corn, or 125,000 in opportunity cost selling that corn at the optimum price. But that left us with about $172,000 we made above selling the corn. Okay, above selling the corn. And we've already gone into the next month, and we've just gotten, or will have, you look at our menu there, remember you want to sell them when the next oldest ones are 8 months old. So we have to get rid of these to make room so these guys can reproduce. Okay, so we're going to do that. Now we're not getting as much for them. 66.5. The ones that are close like that, 1 month apart, you're going to get 66.5. And the ones that are 4 months apart, you're going to get 87.5. But we have racked up some money. We just added another 66.5 onto the 172 that I talked about, less a little bit in corn. In addition, that's about you're going to get another $12,000 in slurry. See slurry up there? That we haven't sold yet or used as fertilizer. So it's about $100 a thousand. So that's about 12 grand right there. In addition to the 172 we got, plus the other 87 grand or 67.5 we just got. That's a heck of a lot of money. Heck of a lot of money. So they are very profitable, and you show a profit quicker by just using corn than you do the other crops. Now, you will have more slurry and more manure if you put straw in there, if you're following those percentages there. But as long as you're at 45%, they're going to reproduce just fine. Okay, they're going to reproduce just fine. Let me put some numbers up here in a second. All right, that's our test. If you got any questions, hit me up in the comments. I'm Farmer Teacher. Share this with your farming buddies, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.